Hey everybody, how's it going? This is John Kovach Jr. Look, I wanted to talk a little bit about goals or 2019 in general. You see, everyone began this year with some New Year's resolutions or some things that they wanted to achieve, and I wanted to follow up on that. I wanted to see how everyone was doing. I know that I set myself a bunch of goals, but a lot of my goals were carrying over from repeating goals from 2018, as well as things that I wanted to achieve this year. A lot of it has to do with the things, and I know that I've showed this before, but a lot of it has to do with the things that are on my dream board, right? Or my vision board, whatever you'd like to call it. And some of these are the things that I have not achieved. This is a 5-year dream board into year 2 of that board. And hey, how's it going, Sean? Sean's joining us. And I wanted to follow up with anyone who is starting to fulfill their goals or maybe feeling stuck, because there are a lot of things out there that we feel like we want to achieve, but we might just not have the right resources, the right connections, the things that they want to do, and they need the thing that's going to get them there. A long time ago, I learned very quickly that if you call upon others, use your network and use your resources, and literally just ask, you can find a lot of success is just in the palm of your hands. Hey, Mateus, it's good to see you. So what I'd like to do, if anyone on here wants to jump on and interact with me for a minute, I'd love to hear what kind of goals you're setting for 2019 and what you could use help with. I have a myriad of resources and connections, but I also just want to know what's keeping you there. But let's not focus on what's holding you back. Let's focus on what you are achieving too. Let's not make this so doomsday. So would love to hear from you. Mateus, if you're available, jump on here, man. Let's see if I can get you on this podcast. Doesn't look like. Well, here, let's do this. Jump on and ask a question, or tell me, just shoot in the comment section. Let's do this. Shoot in the comment section what goals you're trying to achieve in 2019. Maybe let's say, I'm working on an online course. Dude, that's awesome. Mateus, I didn't know this. That's really cool. I'm really glad to hear that. And some of the questions I would ask is, when do you plan to finish the course? And what's holding you back from finishing it? Let's start with the positive. This course is going to be really great because it's the knowledge that you have that you can impose, or you can help teach people and help them achieve something that they couldn't do before. One of our clients is an SEO client, and hey, Logan. Oh, cuz, good to see you, man. That's great. So one of our clients is an SEO client, and they have developed a SEO course. It's more of an onboarding for their systems, but it's also just a general course that allows people to walk through the minute and the menial tasks that have to happen when you launch a website, or you need to get your social media recognized. Any one of those. And so I'm very, very familiar with the course stuff. And so if you are having trouble or need help, just let me know. But man, Mateus, that's awesome. I love that you're making a course. Hey, Pat White, good to see you. Pat White's a good friend of mine. She's got an awesome business, and she's helping people travel more. Huge shout out to Pat. That's really cool. Mateus says, actually, I'm developing a course. Okay, so you're developing a course, even better. Look, I'm writing my first book, and it'll be probably done by March is my goal. And in that book, I'm creating a detailed curriculum or outline to teach people how accountability can help them achieve goals faster and more effectively, and how it can actually increase the productivity of their life, whether that's work, sales, all of the factors and indicators that allow them to achieve higher success. Now, I read a lot of books, and a lot of these books, I've taken the principles and I'm applying them, but I'm relating them to 3 factors of accountability. So that's awesome, Mateus. Hey, let's reach out and talk, because that course sounds awesome. Hey, look, Pat White has a book, and it's coming out shortly. Pat, that's awesome. I'm so excited for you. Hey, let's connect, because that is really cool. Pat, put in the comment section what the book is or what it's about or just any detail you can give us. Pat White and I helped Forbes Riley, one of our billionaire friends, who wrote a book, and we were in the same room, and Pat White and I helped Forbes become a bestseller. It was a really cool experience, something we've shared, but nothing will beat that memory. I love that, Pat. Mateus says it's for people who want to create their artwork and don't know nothing about Photoshop. So I've gathered some information about image and how to do that on a smartphone. Cool. Hey, Mateus, that is really cool. I actually went to an REI session. You know REI, the outlet store that has outdoor gear and stuff. Yeah, I went to REI and I took a class once on how to use your iPhone in the woods and take good photos. It was super cool. So I'm a big fan, man. That's a great idea. Again, let's talk. Let's reach out. Let's have a good conversation about that. The things that are holding you back might be resources. I have lots of resources. If you need, a mentor or somebody, I have a coach who knows how to create courses really fast and get your business up and running. And maybe it's just funding. If you need funding, I have options for that. So let's talk. That'd be awesome. Hey, Andres, so good to see you. Kumusta ka na? Kaibigan mamiss kita. We both had relations of serving a mission in the Philippines. So Andres, good to see you. Say hello. Hey, Kyle Garcia, good to see you, man. And Pat, you are so welcome. I love our cherished memories together. Pat says her book is a children's book that every girl should get their hands on. Wow. Okay. Little secret. In my dealings or in business in general, there's a general rule for me at least, and the rule is if a woman writes a book, you better read it, especially if you're a man, because they're trying to communicate something that we all need to know. So if this is a book that every girl needs to get their hands on, I'd even say, Pat, every dad or every future dad or every husband or every let's just say every man should probably read that book too. I'm just gonna call that out there, because you have so much power when you can read content from somebody else. So I love it. That's so great. And then Mateus says, what's your opinion about Hotmart? You know what? I don't have an opinion right now. Because I don't know it too well, and I haven't really delved deep into it. And maybe some other people on the chat would like to comment as well. Does anyone have any opinions about Hotmart? But I will tell you this: there are great functionalities of creating courses, such as one of the good ones that everyone knows is Kajabi. People may disagree or agree with that. They might think it's a great one, but it's a great platform. But what I do have an opinion on is when creating your course, there are so many simple ways to do it. You don't have to have everything out in place in front of you to create your course. In fact, if I wanted to, I could record this session and transcribe everything and then turn it into content that's viable for my book. Okay, it's that important and that easy for you to create a course, to get involved, and to have really cool things going in a very easy way. I'll wrap that up. But if anyone else has comments or opinions about Hotmart, because I don't, that would be really cool. Hey, Nicole Johnson, such a cool person. Everybody needs to know Nicole. Nicole just got back from a trip where she was on the Forbes Riley Spin Gym team. They were traveling and they were promoting Spin Gym, and they had a party. Every time I looked at my Facebook feed, it was plastered with Nicole Johnson spin gymming and dancing. It was so cool. And Pat says hi too, by the way. She's on here listening. Ahmed, however you say it, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. My greetings to you as well, my friend. And Nicole, I miss you. This is so cool. Hi, it's great to see you. What we're talking about here is we're talking about our goals. What goals have you started in 2019 And where are you with those goals? I wanted to follow up. I wanted to see where everyone's at and see if I can help or if there's any resources. Consider this a mastermind, except for a lot of people use that term differently, okay? So a mastermind could be a giant forum where you listen to one person speak. The way I like masterminds is where you work together, you brainstorm, and you mastermind a solution to somebody's challenge, but you also can work on great things by sharing resources and so forth. Looks like I've got 3 new comments that I haven't seen yet. Pat says Nicole and the team were on fire. Yeah, absolutely. Super cool. Love the happy face and the hearts. And hey, good. Nicole, I'm glad you love this topic. Just throw out there, what kind of goals are you working on? Pat says she's working on a book. My friend Mateus is working on a course. There's a bunch of things people are working on. And I want to bring to light some of the ideas and thoughts that I have, and maybe even share some resources that are great for helping you achieve that goal. So here we are, waiting for more topic options and titles to come in, but I really want to keep this, to a minimum. I appreciate everyone jumping on, and it's great to hear from you all. I got to do this more often because this is a lot of fun, and it's great to see my friends and family here online. But anyways, if you are striving to achieve a goal and you are stuck or haven't reached it yet, I would say to you that 2019 is your year. You can do it. But what you need to do is you need to practice focusing on that goal relentlessly. You guys, I've pushed off writing my book for an entire year. And because I made excuses, I came up with things that said, it wasn't good enough. I started to rewrite it. And so many things came up. But you know what I started to do? Is I started to take just 30 minutes a day and write. And I write either physically write on my laptop. I will record videos if I'm not feeling up to writing, because that takes a lot of brain power, and it's really easy for me to talk. So that's something that I've been doing. And I'm scheduled to finish that book by March. I'm actually creating an event here in Salt Lake City, or just south of Salt Lake City, so that I can get up on stage and speak, and we'll do some fun stuff like a live podcast session and whatever. But I'm working on all of this because it's something that I have just pushed off. So there's no more excuses for 2019. It's time to get started. Nicole says, say more about building a coach program to monetize online. So cool. So cool. Yeah, it's there. Okay, first of all, there are so many resources. If you want to know a resource, I can throw that at you. But as far as creating a course, the biggest thing I've learned is just to start. Now, with my curriculum of accountability, I literally just started recording. I would spend 15, 20 minutes a day recording myself. And you know what I do with that recording? Is I take it and I transcribe it, or I upload the audio to a transcription website. One that I suggest, and one that not many people know of, and it's free, is otter.ai. Instead of not .com, it's otter, OTTER .ai. You can upload files and it'll automatically transcribe for you. Now, some of you who have used transcription services, they don't always catch everything. So you really need to enunciate and practice speaking, but it's okay, because most people think, I need to write my book. Well, the reason I say just get it out there, get that content on paper, because you're not going to write your book longer than you're going to be editing your book. The best writers aren't really writers, they're the best editors. And so if you can remember that concept, creating your book or your course means you just need to get it recorded. My first webinar I ever did, I literally planned out an outline, and then I jumped onto a live recording, recorded it, and realized, wow, there was a lot of things that I didn't write down that needed to be said. Or there were a lot of things that I shouldn't have said, but it went in there and actually created a really great half-hour webinar. And that became the beginning of my course. So awesome topic. I love that you said that. You can monetize it online by driving traffic to your website. I think that if you have enough capabilities to just friend people, invite them, and attract them to that, you will find a lot of success. Now, a lot of people will go down the road of saying, well, you need to have some sort of funnel in place. Yes, you do. There's got to be some sort of funnel. But what a funnel really means is, do you have a plan? Do you have a way for people to follow you easily? You've got to put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. And if you put yourself in the shoes of the consumer, kind of walk the path with as if you were them, you can see how easy it is to create a course, to find a way to get people into that course, and so forth. One of the easiest ways to have a course is to start a podcast. We have a podcast here at Amplified Minds. The podcast is called The Circle of Knowledge. We literally take the books that we read each week. So we read about 3 or 4 books a week as a company, okay, because we're just avid readers. The book I'm reading this week is The Art of War, okay, Sun Tzu. I think that's how you pronounce it, even though it's TZU. But we read a book, and then we take the golden ticket item that really challenged us, or that we resonated with the most, and then we mastermind about it. We talk about it for 10, 15 minutes, and we relate it to business or how it can help you, especially as a coach, a speaker, a mentor, and so forth. But that's just some of the things that we do. But reason why you should start a podcast is because it will allow you to have all the audio of your course, of your topics, of the things you'd like to discuss and teach people already outlined. So people will have free access to the podcast, but it's formulated in a way that you can now turn it into a course. You can take the audio, put it to a really great PowerPoint, put some features on there. A great company that I like to endorse is Clients on Demand. They're a great course to teach you how to create your webinar and your course material. They have some great functions and some websites and things that you can use to plug in and create your course. But I love that. That was a long answer to that really great topic, but thanks for shouting that out, Nicole. I appreciate that. And I hope I covered some of it. If you want to start a podcast and you don't know where to start, go to anchor.fm. Anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.fm. They allow you to upload free audios. You can record straight from the website. They also allow you to monetize it you can record ads and then turn on the ad function and then throw it in there. And then just depending on how many listeners you get, they'll pay you right out of the gates. It's a great format, but I highly advise you do podcasts. Now, our podcast at Amplified Minds is called The Circle of Knowledge. I listen to a myriad of podcasts every day. It's kind of my education format. But when I'm not a podcast junkie, I'm a book junkie. I'll listen, I'll read, and I'm doing all that. And that's kind of helped me find great time to listen and educate myself throughout the day. Nicole says, so smart, just 30 minutes a day. I love it. Yeah, just 30 minutes a day. And you know what? Don't even pressure yourself to hit 30 minutes, because 30 minutes is enough time to set up your equipment, record, get throughout all the jiggle, let's call them the jitters. I almost said jiggles for some reason, but let's call them the jitters. And then once you're through that, then you get through most of the jitters, and then you can dive into your content. Gives you a good 15, 20 minutes of straight up content. And listen, I've been talking. We started this conversation about goals for 2019, and we got into discussions about coaching and courses and other things, and there's some pretty cool stuff. Hey, I want to make a shout out to my good friend, Chris Borrego. Chris, it's been so long. I'm pretty sure 2008 was the last time I talked to you. So good to see you, my friend. And then Andres, he's back on, so we're all good. But great topics, great discussions. This is fantastic. You guys have been awesome. I want to do this more often. I realize how much fun it is to just record, to just talk. And if any of you have questions or want to talk more, I have some really fun things coming this year, including a private mastermind group that we'll be able to launch soon. If you're looking for an accountability partner to help you achieve your goals faster, let's chat as well. But I would tell you that just having someone to report to, someone to talk to be a sounding board as you're trying to achieve each of your goals is super helpful. And that's why we do accountability. Accountability is the one thing that's holding you back, because either you're not responsible to yourself, you don't have the peer group to support you, or you're not using the right coaches or the right people to motivate you and empower you to achieve those goals that you've always wanted to. A lot of us find, mentors through websites and some of the elites of the world, and that's fantastic. If you resonate with the Tony Robbinses of the world and they give you the empowerment to actually take action, then there you go. That's your answer. But sometimes some people need a professional advisor, a mentor, somebody who can help them achieve goals daily, weekly, and they're going to relentlessly hold you accountable to those goals, because you wouldn't expect anything less, and you wouldn't set yourself up for success if it weren't for the desires that you have to achieve those goals. So there we have it, guys. That's been a lot of fun. We're 20 minutes into this. Wow, you can talk, John. That's crazy. Okay, if any of you have any questions, I'm happy to help, but I'm going to do this more often. How fun was this? Okay, 2019, achieve your goals. Remember, you need to have an accountability partner, whether it's your mom. Except for I've found out that moms are great for reminding you how great you are. Use that. Now, go find someone who's going to say, hey, John, you said you were going to write your book by March. How much did you write yesterday, and how close are you? Let's be real here. How are you going to do it? Okay, find an accountability partner who's going to do that to you, do that for you. You'll find that those people not only become perpetual friends, but they also are the people that you probably should be in most contact with. One more challenge. I just thought of this. For 2019, one of my goals was to develop deeper, more valuable relationships, something that I've been working on. Now, I want you to, this is a good exercise, okay? Take your phone, okay? Oh, you saw my credit card, which is on the back of my phone, okay? Take your phone, and I want you to go to your text messages. And I want you to look at the last 10 or 15 text messages and just observe, okay? Look at the last 10 or 15 people who you've messaged. And I want you to answer this question. Now, this is not a yes or no, right or wrong answer, but hey, Mateus, go ahead, ask the question. I'm going to finish this little exercise, but ask one more question. Go for it, man. I want you to answer 2 questions about the 10 or 15 people on your phone. When was the last time that you paid or worked with that person? Okay. When was the last time you worked for that person, worked with that person, or paid them? And then flip it. When was the last time that they paid you for your services and worked with you? Okay. A lot of us have friends, but we don't know how to continue a perpetual value relationship. And I think that that's extremely, extremely important. Now, the same exercise, except for look at who you last called, the last 10 or 15 calls you've made. Who calls these days? Who calls? Oh my gosh, you should be calling every day. Okay, my challenge to you is, if you're not listening to books or podcasts on the drive home, use that time to connect. Use that time to talk with people. I like to talk when I walk. I'm always out of breath, but I find time to talk. Mateus, looks like you just sent your question in. Hold on one second. So look at your last 10 or 15 calls. Who called you? Who did you call? Same question. Have those people paid you or worked with you? And reverse that. Have you worked with those people or paid those people? Because I promise you, in your circle of influence, you will find so much value and things that can help you achieve the goals that you're working towards. That's kind of my challenge for today. Wow, we are going on. Looks like we're going to get up to 30 minutes today. Sounds super fun. Okay, Mateus says, do you know a way I could help people with Portuguese? Okay, this is really cool. And how could I turn this skill into a business? Okay, so let's talk for a second. We have a client, and to just protect their name and who they are a large essential oils company. Okay, and we manage a team of, let's just say, for numbers' sake right now, we manage one of their teams, and we follow up with a lot of their people every day. And part of their team is down in Brazil. Now, Mateus, I don't know Portuguese. I do not know Portuguese. I have friends who are Brazilian. I know friends who are from Portugal. I know that there is a lot of Portuguese-speaking people out there. And what an untapped market, because there's so many great opportunities and relationships to be built. But I do use, and this is admitting something to you, I do use Google Translate, and I also consult with some of my friends when I do my follow-ups with my Portuguese clients. And so far, I have found, because I've used Filipino, which is the language that I speak. I've used Filipino in Google Translate, and it doesn't do a good job at translating. But for some reason, Brazil, or sorry, Portuguese does. It does a great job. So for those of you who don't know Portuguese, you can use Google Translate, but maybe you might disagree with me in a taste. But anyways, long story short, how can I help people with Portuguese? And I'm going to take this in two parts. You can help them do anything in Portuguese, or you can help them learn Portuguese. Okay, super easy.